want you to stop undervaluing yourself. The reason you do this is because of imposter syndrome, fear, uncertainty, and doubt. We've all heard the term FUD in investing world, and you're doing this in your business. Your fear, uncertainty, and doubt about what you bring to the table in your business causes you to undercharge and overdeliver. So what happens here is that you go, oh my God, there's no way I could ever charge what I'm worth because I don't know that I bring value. I'm scared to talk about money. And when people come to me and ask what I do for a living in my business and how I change lives, I shrink when it comes to the money part. And so many entrepreneurs do this. I'm sure that you resonate with this. That's what we're going to talk about today, how to start valuing yourself more so you can charge what you're worth, work less, make more, have fun doing it instead of having nonstop FUD. If it's your first time here, I'm Dr. Amanda, known as the Money Healer, and this is your place to come each and every week for tips, tools, inspiration on how to up-level your money mindset so that you can work less, make more, and have time and money freedom. Okay, so what I want to talk about is undervaluing yourself and why this happens and how to start to pick it apart a little bit, because I have yet to meet an entrepreneur who doesn't have a hard time with this, especially at first. Don't feel like you're alone, because this happens to everybody. At every level of your business, you're going to reach new money blocks, and you're going to say, oh, when I started charging $20 an hour, that felt like a stretch. And then it went to 100 and then 300 and then 500. And then I didn't even think about my dollar per hour rate anymore. I thought about how to transform people and what that was worth. And that's when you know that you're really up-leveling your money mindset. So what happens is that people get really stuck in this mentality. Often it comes from working in a job where they have a W-2 and they get paid a dollar per hour rate or a salary, and they always break it down to dollars per hour, right? So you're sitting there calculating, you're going like, oh, this is what I'm worth. And then when we start a business, it's challenging to calculate because no one's telling you what you're worth. You're deciding what you're worth. And so when you come up with a price for your products, your programs, and your services, if you have limiting beliefs about money, you're going to undercharge. This will look like you bartering your services away, where you go, oh, I'll just trade with someone because I don't really know what I'm doing and I've got to get some experience. And once I have that experience, then I'll start charging what I'm worth. Or you give away your programs, your products, and your services for free because you're scared to ask for money. You have sales fears, you have money blocks. You think maybe it's not spiritual to ask for money for what I do in the world. All of these things are keeping you super stuck. And we've all been there. Undervaluing ourselves is a huge issue with heart-centered entrepreneurs who are mission-driven, because usually, typically, coach-type people have huge hearts. They offer a lot of value to the world in this helping way, but it's something you do so naturally that you often feel like, well, why should I get paid for this? And how do I decide what to get paid for it? And so I want you to start questioning everything you believe about money and about sales. So this FUD, this imposter syndrome FUD that you're experiencing that causes you to undervalue yourself, is because you have a negative belief, a limiting belief about sales. So that's in there, and that's a money block where you go, oh my God, I have sales fears. You'll know you have this when you're on a consult call and you're doing great, things are going amazing. The person's having the transformations real time on the console, and then all of a sudden you either don't ask for any money, you don't promote your program or yourself, or you notice yourself shrink and get scared when the money conversation comes up. And this is so common, it happens all the time. Lots of the people I work with have had this, and so I teach them how to overcome it, because if you shrink when it comes to sales and when it comes to talking about money, you're never going to be able to charge what you're worth. You're going to be working way too hard, and you're going to over-deliver and undercharge, and then you can't have a successful business. The symptoms of this are that you start to resent your clients, you start to worry that you're never going to be able to scale your business. Maybe if you're at the level of charging for free, that makes no sense. If you're at the level where you aren't even charging any money because you have so much imposter syndrome FUD, then you really want to start looking at yourself and practicing self-awareness. Let's start journaling and going, okay, what do I believe about salespeople and why do I think sales are so wrong or bad? Okay, so just ask yourself, when was the first time I remember having a sales interaction that made me feel sleazy, gross, or just sold to, and the person didn't understand what I wanted or what I needed? So that's the first part that I want you to consider, because your money block here is a sales fear. And it's this fear that you shouldn't charge any money, that you shouldn't charge the amount of money that you know you deserve and that you actually bring value for. And I want you to start questioning, what do I believe about salespeople? When did I start believing that salespeople are sleazy jerks? Doesn't mean that I have to be a sleazy jerk when I sell. We all have this, and it's a really big negative belief system and money block that I want you to start to bring to your conscious awareness so that you can work through it. Because if you have this, every time you go to sell a product or program, you're going to shrink, and then you're going to repel money away from you instead of magnetically attracting money to you when you know your worth. So on one side, I want you to ask yourself, what do I believe about salespeople? What were the negative interactions I had? And I want you to look for counter evidence. So this is reframing. So in my NFA Money Formula, I help people remove their money blocks, reframe their money beliefs, and rewrite their money story. This all helps you charge what you're worth. So in this process, you're going to first go, okay, how do I want to remove my money blocks? I've got to first start by getting conscious of what they are. So if you're having a hard time selling and you're having a hard time charging what you're worth, first you want to get raised your conscious awareness, like, oh, okay, I believe that salespeople are sleazy jerks. And if you think that, it's going to be really hard for you to sell in your business. So go back to a memory when you first remember that. It could be that you saw it in a movie. It could be that you were watching your parents. It could be that someone was selling to you. It could be that you were selling something and you felt yucky about it. So get clear on that. Then you're going to start to reframe by looking for counter evidence where you see salespeople who really care, because selling is just caring and sharing. And selling is you being a resource for people who are ready to transform. Whatever business model you have, whatever it is that you're bringing to the world, people are looking for what you have, and you are the answer to their prayers. You're their solution. And so if you are hiding it, they can't find you. And if you're not charging what you're worth, then they can't come to the table and go like, oh wait, you have a business, you have a product, you have a service, and it can help me. So you want to start shifting your beliefs and looking for counter evidence where there's either been a time that you interacted with a salesperson who was awesome and amazing, or where you saw a sales interaction that was useful, or where you bought something yourself that felt like it changed your life and that you go, oh my God, I would pay for this time and time again. That's what you bring to the table. And then that rewriting of your money story or your money beliefs and rewriting your money story to have the outcome of charging what you're worth so you can work less and make more and have a business you love, I want you to start to rewrite those beliefs. So write down 10 new beliefs you can have about sales and 10 new beliefs you have about the value you bring to the table. Because, we started this with saying, hey, you got to stop undervaluing yourself. So you've got to start to raise your value on yourself, and you've got to start to see your value, because what you're doing right now is unconsciously only seeing the drawbacks to selling, and you're seeing the drawbacks to charging what you're worth. You're seeing the drawbacks to charging at all, and it's making you scared when it's time to sell. So rewind, listen to those action steps, take action in the direction of creating what you want, and start to remove those money blocks so you can reframe your beliefs and rewrite your money story, charge what you're worth, and up level yourself and value yourself more so you can eliminate that imposter syndrome beat up that happens where you continually have fear, uncertainty, and doubt that causes you to burn out and really not like your business and not make the money that you want to make and that you're ready for, because you want to create a lifestyle of freedom, fun, flow, and really freedom of choice and time. And you must, next action step, go and watch the Charge What You're Worth webinar. So the link will be in the description, Charge What You're Worth webinar. This will give you more information here. If you're liking what you're learning here, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, click on the notification bell, share it with friends, leave me a comment, let me know. What's your number one fear about selling? So in the comments, tell me what's your number one fear about selling, or what's a memory you have about a sales interaction that made you feel like, oh, salespeople are greedy jerks, or salespeople are just in it for the money. Whatever it is that's blocking you, share in the comments. I love to hear from you, and I will see you next round for another NFA Money video. And until then, NFA Money Making High Fives.